Hello, everyone. What a great-looking crowd. I think you have to say that to every crowd, so I do. But you are. Beautiful crowd, beautiful scenery here in Miami. Thank you all so much for being here at our first Axios BFD Miami event. We're going to have a lot of great conversations for the rest of the afternoon. In the interim, though, just so you know, behind me there will be screens that will pop up QR codes where you can follow all of our coverage on Axios.com. You can sign up online, and the QR codes will make it really easy for you to point your camera. You'll be able to click on that link and get all of our coverage, especially, by the way, for everybody here. Our Axios local team, the Miami team, have a great newsletter that you should all sign up for to help you stay up to date on all the current events and stories here in your city. All right, so I was supposed to talk about sort of the really fun parts of Miami, which unfortunately I haven't been able to take advantage of just yet. I hope to later in the week. There's a lot of fun and culture and food, and so my next guest is the perfect person to go into all of that with us. She may not need an introduction to all of you guys, but for those of you who are watching online, she is an award-winning chef. She's a restaurateur. She's a Miami native. Please welcome to the stage, Michelle Bernstein. All right, welcome. Okay, how many foodies are out there in the crowd? How many have been to Michelle's restaurants?
That's not enough hands.
That's not enough hands. You're all lying. You all have your hands on your cell phones, so you can't raise your hands. I wanted to start off with some fun, what I call amuse-bouche questions, if you will. Okay. So these are rapid fire just to get us going and get the crowd going here. Number one, you have won so many awards in your career. I was talking to you backstage. Almost every single one of your restaurants that you have opened won Best New Restaurant of that year. Of all of your accomplishments, including the James Beard Award, which one are you most proud of?
I would say breaking the glass ceiling in DC. I won an award for more women to really, come after me and to open up the doors in the field that I'm in, because at the time it was a really hard place to be a woman, especially back in the 90s.
Okay, yeah. I love that. Nothing that is officially given to you, but that you did yourself. I love that.
No, it was an official. It was an official award.
Oh, it was? Okay, I'm sorry. I missed that one. Your go-to drive-through meal?
It's so bad. Do I do drive-through? I don't do drive-through. Oh my goodness.
That's okay.
Hold on. Okay, once a year I do a cheeseburger at McDonald's.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm Mickey D's fans.
Yeah.
Okay, this one might be a little bit tricky. How much do you tip?
25 to 30%.
Every time? Okay.
Every time.
And which celebrity chef is most overrated?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay. Let's talk about the macro picture right now. Consumers, you touch them in many ways, but then coming into restaurants, you're going into their homes, you have a project coming up that we're going to talk about. What do they want right now in their dining experience?
It's interesting right now. Everyone wants to be a little bit known, a little bit special. We are finding that people want to be entertained. They don't just want a great meal anymore. They want the full experience. So we're dealing with a lot of, experiential things going on. So at Café La Trova, one of the restaurants that I have with my husband, it's live music every single night. It's a DJ 3 times a week. It is a trumpet player as my bar back, getting on the bar and playing music. It's all of us being part of this beautiful dance. So yes, the food is good. Yes, the drinks are good. But people want more. And so everything we do from La Trova on will be so much more.
You also talked about food as an important core, but the music and the bar now are really, are they even more important than the food?
If it's natural and organic, some people, it's interesting. I don't want to talk negatively about anyone. Very close to La Trova, someone opened something that has good food and has good drink and now does really loud music and some dancing, and I went there the other night because I'm friends with the chef, and I thought, oh my God, he's forcing this so much so that it's almost to the point of just overwhelming. You know, you have to figure out how to do it organically, or I feel really don't do it at all.
Well, how are you doing it? Especially because your beloved Senora Martinez is coming back. You're thinking of new concepts. What are you planning to do to make it also more unique in the second iteration?
That's a great question. So we are bringing experience. It's interesting, the space in Coral Gables used to be called the stage, and so we kept the original stage there, and we will have music. It won't be a party like La Trova because it just naturally won't be. However, a lot of the kitchen is very open. In fact, I have a drying room for meat, and I have all kinds of things that people can really be part of that dining experience. But on top of that, we decided to start a bit of a membership program. Now, it's not a membership-only restaurant, but there will be a loyalty program. You know, I've been working in restaurants here in South Florida. I mean, I was born here, but I've been cooking here for almost 30 years now. And so I have people that I consider to be in our restaurant family, to be very close. And so we've decided to start kind of like, your American Express rewards kind of thing. So we'll have a big perk program, which basically, you can get in early to events, and maybe I can pop up at your business or your home cooking, or you can get reservations quicker, things like that. So we have noticed that there will be this trend starting where people will just want to be part of this kind of, group where they get, the more you come, like a loyalty program, the more you come, the more you get.
And why is the timing right now for you to open?
Because I think you should strike where the iron's hot. I mean, first of all, I'm hungry to cook again, this kind of food. I'm really hungry to cook more elevated cuisine. Not that I don't love what I cook at La Trova. I even cook at my husband's bar, Sweet Liberty. I make great cauliflower nachos, but now I'm hungry. I'm hungry to make elevated food. I'm hungry to create again at this level. So we never go backwards. And Senora Martinez, we had once. And it's something that my husband and I always said to each other, we'll never go back. But Senora is something that we both miss so desperately. And so my name is Michelle Bernstein, but I'm married to David Martinez. And so Senora Martinez is still me, right? So why not open Senora Martinez 2024? Because it's a whole new world. I'm cooking differently. I've grown in more ways than one. And I think it's going to be really exciting for our town.
Not your mother-in-law. Not her mother-in-law.
Yeah, people used to ask if Senora Martinez was a gift from my husband to his mother. And I would tell people, no, it's actually me. I know it's a hard sell. I look more like a Bernstein, but I am a Martinez.
Speaking of creativity, you've had to be a little bit more creative in how you get financing. You've talked about how, and in our calls before today, how your husband still has these tough conversations, how it hasn't gotten easier even at this stage in your career. Talk about the financing environment right now compared to when you first started out.
It's always been difficult for David and I, my husband's David, to ask for money, to find money, to get financing. It's always been a difficult conversation for he and I both. Obviously we have more years on us, right? We have viable businesses now. And so I guess a lot of people think that things come easier for us, but they actually don't. We've had to dig very deep. I'm lucky enough that I have all these other partners now in all my other businesses that I do, because I do lots of different things. And so I've gone to them, but it's always been a very humbling experience for both of us. Like, you don't feel your worth when you have to ask for financing. It's a hard conversation.
But why hasn't it gotten easier, given your track record?
I don't think I have an answer for that. All I can say is, I guess the money's probably there, but we are so shy to ask for it. We're givers, right? We're in the restaurant business. We're used to servicing people. I love to service people. In fact, I wish I was sitting here handing you food. You'd probably find me more interesting, and I would be finding myself more interesting at the moment. However, we're people that just love to service. We're in this service industry because we love people and we love to give. And so if you think about it, it's really the reverse of that. And so it's just a hard thing for us to become takers, if you will.
There was a specific program, I think, that you took advantage of the EB-5 visa program that allows foreign investors. How crucial was that to getting financing?
It was everything. Thanks to some really good friends and attorneys in Miami that I happen to have gone to high school with, North Miami Senior High, I found out more about the EB-5 program, and because of it and our investors, mainly from Venezuela, we were able to get the funding to open Senora Martinez, and it's been incredible for us and incredible for their families as well.
What defines Miami dining versus all of the other hotspots in the US and around the world?
Well, I feel like we have less fear somehow here, where we might not be as intoxicatingly perfect as some of the dining you might find in New York City and other places. We have this kind of, it's almost hard to put it in words, but we have this way of just going for things here in South Florida, where it's all about sabor, which is flavor, and about drive and our passion, and you can feel the passion in our businesses and in our food, and the love that we all kind of have for each other here. It's truly a community.
What's kept you here? I mean, you see all these other big restaurant groups. Tao Group, I think, has 89 restaurants around the world. Is that something that you aspire to grow your empire?
I have no desire, not whatsoever.
And why is that?
Because these are my people. This is my town. My son goes to school here. He's 12 years old. I don't plan on going anywhere. I was born here. I have my roots here. And, I would never go. As long as I have businesses planted here, I would not go anywhere else to open a business. I mean, yes, I work in other places, and I know you wanted to get to that, but as far as building a business, I have to be around my business. My husband has to be here to take care of people from our heart directly to your hand.
There's also more competition, and again, this is from our call. You said there's quite a bit of competition, but yet not enough. What did you mean by that?
I mean, there's a huge amount of competition. Look at, some of the major food group has come here. So many people are here. It's incredible. However, I still feel like we're still missing food. I still feel like we're all still a little bit hungry. It's interesting. A couple years ago, I said, why isn't there an Israeli restaurant, a great Israeli restaurant here in town? And now all of a sudden, there's 5 really great Israeli restaurants. And it's coming, but I think a lot of us are still looking for those smaller ethnicities where you see in other cities.
One topic that doesn't get talked about enough is what happens in the kitchen itself, the labor issues that still persist.
Yeah.
For investors who are here, for those who are looking to expand their portfolio maybe into more restaurants themselves, why should investors care about the labor issues in the back?
Oh, man. Labor has become so incredibly difficult, and I hate to use this word because it's so political, but it really all comes down to immigration. So if we don't have the people that are harvesting our vegetables, and we don't have the people that are driving the trucks to get our vegetables to where they need to go, and we don't have the people that are washing dishes because people don't want to. Kids that are going to culinary school, they come to us and they think they're chefs. They're ready to go. So to find people that want to do the harder work, the grind, the physical stuff, it's becoming harder and harder for us to find. I mean, fishermen are leaving their families' businesses after hundreds of years because it's gotten so difficult. It's a difficult conversation, but it's become very difficult, and I can't really see it getting much better.
What can be done to incentivize more people to be in these specific kinds of very hard, back-breaking jobs?
Right. Offer them a future. Be part of their education. We give a lot of our younger generation and people that come here from other countries, we've given them the possibility to have an education. We give people insurance, health insurance, and that's something that a lot of our businesses don't do. We've never had to. After COVID, I think we learned a great deal through COVID and seeing so many of our friends close their businesses, and us, we turned our businesses into soup kitchens. And we realized that the restaurant business was kind of broken. Really, the mythology had to change. The way that we did business had to change. And so I think we're all learning through trials and tribulations, right? And so we've learned that we've always wanted to take care of the people that work with us, and they become our extended families, and we need to give them more so that they can grow. Whether it's with us or without us, they have to grow.
What about in terms of mental health? What are you doing to support your staff there?
What kind of health?
With mental health.
Mental health. Well, that's another thing. So it's interesting, we're misfits, right? Chefs are misfits. We're disasters. So we try to make the kitchen a very safe place. We try to give them the feeling of family. We also give them, again, the insurance, which helps a lot. We try to also give training for alcoholism, for addiction, trying to find ways for people to find an outlet, and we keep open doors. I mean, I am open. Everybody has my phone number. Everybody has my husband's phone number. We're there 24/7, if not physically, mentally. We're always there. And so, I've lost a couple of great chefs to alcoholism and mental illness. And through all these situations, we try to only get better and make sure we keep the conversation very open. But again, we misfits feel really good in a safe kitchen. That's where we feel better about ourselves.
What about climate change? I mean, we're seeing so much extreme weather that's really uprooting a lot of the supply chains. How has that, in Miami, maybe specifically, let's start there, impacted the way, A, your margins, B, just the way that you're getting your supplies that you need, the food that you need?
Yeah, it's out of control. Things are getting harder and harder to find. In fact, it's interesting, we've all kind of changed the way we cook now. It used to be that you had to have a pound of parsley, you had to have your scallions, you had to have this and that and the other, right? We had to have our yellowtail on the menu. But it's not like that anymore because of climate change. And maybe, it's a terrible thing, but maybe we've become smarter because now we create with what we have. The only problem is what we have is now 3 times the price as it was just a few years ago. And so things are getting very expensive. There's pushback. And it's become difficult, but we've also learned through what we do with the bars, right, and with the experiences to somehow bring in economy in a different way.
Just really quickly, what ingredients are you no longer cooking with, either because of price or because of the availability?
There's a lot of fish and seafood that I don't bring in now from other parts of the country because they're just too expensive. I don't remember the last time I brought in things like live sea urchins and skate wings and even foie gras. These are, known as like luxury items, but they were things that were always on our menus because people expected them here. But we find that it's not really necessary. We can get creative with a head of iceberg if we have to.
Last question before we get to our fun question. Can you explain service fees to all of us who look at our receipts and say, well, didn't we already pay this fee? And didn't we already pay that fee? Didn't we already give you 25%? What's going on there?
We're paying taxes on absolutely everything, and that's how we try to gain back what we're paying. There's a service fee for absolutely every single thing that you are eating from, drinking from, speaking to, every cocktail, every alcohol, we are paying a service charge to. So we're just trying to recover.
So they're not going away?
No.
Okay. One last question, and maybe more sweet than fun. You have said that you find yourself cooking more like your mother every day. What would you make for her tonight if she were at one of your tables?
If she were still alive?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, if she were still here, I think I would probably go and get the most local, most delicious shellfish and make a beautiful stew, painstakingly long stew, taking all the delicious juices out of all of that seafood and poaching a piece of fish inside of it.
I love that.
I think that's what I would make for her.
I love that. We don't have enough time to go through all of the other questions that I have, but Michelle, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
For all of you here in the audience, please, give a thank you to Michelle. Just really quickly, all this talk about food and I don't know how many times you said the word hungry up here. We're obviously a little hungry, so we're gonna have a reception outside behind you after this. Before our next conversation, though, we're gonna show a really short video of our very cool, very significant for us and for you guys, our Axios Pro Deals Tracker. This is going to be very relevant, I think, for many of you, so that is what is coming up next. And Michelle, thank you again.